All right. I think we are live. Let me just get connected. And we should be good. Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, as they say. I haven't used that phrase in public ever. All right. I think we're ready. Just monitor. Oh. Sorry, guys, having some technical difficulties. Just trying to monitor on YouTube over here. All right. Oh my goodness. So Blackmagic just introduced the 12K Ursa Mini Pro. I was trying to watch this entire, sorry about that. I was trying to watch this entire event, but it was during my lunch break. I had already committed to lunch plans with my parents, and I'm sitting there with my parents, just like trying to watch the stream. A lot of things going on. Had a meeting after my lunch break, and finally got some time to sit down. And I said, you know what? Let's deep dive into this. And talk about this amazing announcement of the Ursa Mini Pro 12K. Now, if you are a subscriber, you may know that I'm a budget filmmaker, and so you may already go to the fact that this is a $10,000 camera. Why the hell am I talking about it? And as a budget filmmaker, what gets me excited first and foremost about these announcements is the fact that with all of this happening, with these awesome products being announced, it only means good things for all of filmmakers. When you have cameras that are putting technology into their cameras like this is doing, it is beneficial for everyone involved. And so I think it's really awesome. I think everyone should be talking about it because it's a freaking 12K camera. And that's not the only thing. I wanted to put this, I am doing another live stream tonight talking about some budget streaming gear. So if you're interested in that, you should check it out tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time. But I wanted to talk about this then, but I was really excited. And so I figured, let's get on here and talk about it. Now, I have their site pulled up, and there's a couple things that even just looking at the site, even looking at Blackmagic's announcement page, I wasn't actually able to get through all of the stream or all of the video talking about the announcement. So I really kind of just read all the bullet points on the page, and so I'm going to switch over to that. So you guys should be seeing the screen here. I mean, first and foremost, freaking 12K. 12K. Like, absurd. It was, who was it? I saw another YouTuber comment that 6K is so last year. So, I mean, we need 12K now. But 12K, just crazy. But that's not the only selling point of this camera. Another selling point for me for this camera, if you scroll down, 12K, 80 megapixels, Super 35, amazing. So it's not full frame, which, I was hoping that with this announcement, they were going to announce a full frame sensor, but Super 35, good as well. But another couple of details. Where was I seeing this? Okay, B-roll. The part that I did actually see, let me take a sip of my coffee as I'm just super excited. The part that I did see was the fact that they developed this sensor for Blackmagic RAW. And if you're not a current Blackmagic Pocket or Blackmagic shooter, Blackmagic RAW is such an amazing codec. It is so efficient, and the fact that I am working on a 2013 iMac and can edit Blackmagic RAW sometimes without even creating proxies just speaks for itself. This computer should not be able to handle a raw file. And so the fact that Blackmagic RAW allows me to do that, DaVinci Resolve, amazing. So on top of that, having the sensor made for Blackmagic RAW, amazing in and of itself. So let's keep going. So we have Blackmagic Raw is going to be in the camera. You also have, there was something else I saw down here. The Generation 5 color science. So amazing color science going to be in this. This was the other big selling point as I got to this part of the page. This part of the page being, Mark, it is real. It is indeed real. 12K. 12K. But this is one of the things that excited me. 12K, 60 frames per second. I'm gonna hang out for a second so you can like really comprehend that. 12K up to 60 frames per second. You know, just last week we were kind of talking about the Canon R6 and R5, and don't get me wrong, those are completely different cameras for a completely different audience. But this camera is a beast. So 12K, 60 frames per second, 8K, 110 frames per second, and 4K, 220 frames per second. Like, geez, come on. Like, these are things that are just super exciting. Now, you know, those were some of the big selling points for me. So let's continue to kind of roll through this. Some of this stuff I'm really kind of recapping myself, and this is more of a discussion with you guys on what you guys think. So I don't have like those are my big couple points. You have 12K, you have those high frame rates, you have Blackmagic Raw, but obviously there may be some other things there that we want to consider here. Oh, one thing that I got excited about was, where is it at? It's down here, a little bit, interchangeable lens mounts. And so, that you could, I think we saw that with the, for 10K, Mark, I wish I could buy that. If you want to sponsor me so I can buy that, that'd be great. I would love to. But you have a lot of different mounts here. You have some PL mounts. You also have some Canon EF mounts, and you also have a Nikon F mount. So that's awesome, which is pretty amazing. So the fact that you can interchange those mounts is awesome as well. It makes your lens selection pretty vast, and so that was cool. Now, obviously, being a Blackmagic 4K owner, I'm not expecting this to have a micro four thirds mount, but obviously I have a lot of micro four thirds glass, and so that would have been an added bonus. But I do also have some Canon EF glass, and I do also have a lot of Nikon F lenses as well, because for a lot of my filming, I actually kind of decided to go the Nikon F mount route versus the Canon EF mount route, just because I can't wait to hear about the crying about no autofocus. Yes. Yeah. But I mean, let's be real. Okay. So, Driven Films are coming and I just said it, but can't wait to hear people cry about no autofocus. Are we really wanting autofocus in that? Like, I don't know. Me personally, and I don't consider myself a professional filmmaker, cinematographer, or even like a DP. I don't think about autofocus ever. I shoot primarily with the GH5 and Blackmagic 4K or Pocket 4K. That's not a selling point for me. And I get, like, sure, $10,000. You probably wish it would have autofocus. But me personally, I don't see a problem with that. But at the same time, you do have stuff like the C500, that has, I believe the C500 has the dual pixel autofocus now, and so that is, I can see the point there for $10,000. Yeah, DSLR mentality in a cinema camera world. Yeah, it happens. When the C500, I think is a Mark II now, when that was announced and all of the YouTubers were talking about it, I remember everybody was just touting autofocus. And in my mind, as a even just like a like a hobby filmmaker, again, it's just like I don't rely on autofocus. And don't get me wrong, like Canon has amazing autofocus, Sony has amazing autofocus, but like I just don't trust autofocus. I've actually gotten to a point where like I've kind of unlearned how to use autofocus, which is for the good and the bad. Like this shot, I've been moving around a lot. I'm probably gonna be out of focus at some points. But I think as a filmmaker, and for me, I'm just like, that's not really a selling point for me. But again, going back to the idea, $10,000, I can see that point of like wanting that. Philip Flores, Michael Jr. here didn't have the AF. Yeah. Yeah. So, Philip Flores, thanks for commenting, man. Saying as a Nikon shooter, basically not having autofocus for years, having to learn how to manual focus and not regretting that. Honestly, when I switched from Sony to the GH5 and Micro Four Thirds, that was one thing I knew going into it. Like, I just don't have autofocus. I don't. Like, it's not reliable enough for me to use it professionally, even as a YouTube content creator. Like, I can't trust it as much. I love that comment, Driven Films. It's mainly YouTubers crying about autofocus. No, this camera is definitely not for them. But I could definitely see somebody like Madi Habuya or any YouTube filmmakers being, picking this up and being hyped on it. And then when they go for their review, autofocus will come up. And so definitely not for YouTubers. Now, for somebody like myself, if I could drop $10,000, hell yeah, I'd go for that. And just know that, sure, I'm not going to have autofocus. I don't really complain about it right now. I know its limitations. I know things that I need to consider that maybe other YouTubers don't. It was funny this past week. I got done recording my video and was looking at my camera, and there's kind of an outtakes portion, and I'm just literally looking at my camera, having the epiphany of used to that Sony mentality of like I move around, the camera follows me as far as autofocus, but having that realization of like I'm working with a manual focus pretty much only camera, I should probably stop moving around as much. And it was just you could see the light bulb going off, and so. It's a skill that you have to learn, and when you do, honestly, manual focusing everything is a skill I don't regret. Kind of going back to Philip's point, I don't regret having that skill. I think it's something that not a ton of people lean on, and especially YouTube community. When you get into like actual, filmmakers, cinematographers, DPs, camera engineers, everyone like. That's the world where it's just like, nah, we're okay without that. Obviously, like that's the world of manual focus everything. But is it a nice convenience? Yes, nice convenience, especially when it's reliable. I think Canon C500, that autofocus system, I may trust that more than if they did put autofocus into this. I mean, you think about like my Pocket 4K. I don't ever use autofocus because I don't trust it. It's not trustworthy. Canon has a little bit more proof the autofocus, and so it's a nice convenience to have. Mark said, I feel like Maddie would say something along the lines of, this doesn't have AF, so if you need that, you won't find it here. But yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's always funny. I think I learned a long time ago, especially, what was it, whenever I'm blanking on it now, the Z-Cam came out, the F6, having all of YouTube be like, you have to have this camera, you have to have this camera. And it was really refreshing to see YouTubers like Gerald Undone be like, no, this thing has limitations. And these are the limitations. And I'll be honest, I love my Blackmagic, but I even questioned, should I sell my Blackmagic for this new amazing $4,000 camera? And you get in this like weird like hive mind of, well, if every YouTuber says I need it, of course I need it. And unfortunately, that's kind of where our world is. It's weird, and I say that as a YouTuber. Follow focus camera bigger than team. Oh, sure, 100%. This is definitely not a camera for a single shooter. This is definitely not a camera for maybe even a small team. This is a camera for a production team. You could probably I would maybe even just say like a small team, like a small production team, but definitely not a camera for single shooters. I'm sure you can make it work. One of the YouTubers that I follow, Zeke, he's big into. If you haven't checked out Zeke, you should definitely do that. He purchased, I think he purchased an Ursa Mini 4.6K, and he's been rocking that for a while. But I mean, honestly, he's done a lot of great stuff with just like. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the hack on the EOS-M, the Canon EOS-M, being able to film in RAW and all these other Blackmagic, or not Blackmagic, but Magic Lantern features, and he's been killing it with that. So him picking up the Ursa Mini was really awesome, and so I could see him doing stuff like that. But then again, like that goes back to also like, does a single shooter team or a single shooter creator have that type of budget of picking up a $10,000 camera and getting the best out of it? So, and this is where my mentality is with this. And let me flip back over to just kind of talking, and we'll come back to the screen here in a minute. But here's where my mentality is with this. This may not be for the single person shooter team or like the individual creators, but this pushes the technology of the cameras we do use to be better. This pushes people, it even pushes people like Blackmagic to make, better consumer cameras. Maybe a more robust, consumer level Pocket 4K, Pocket 6K, maybe put out a Pocket 4K Mark II or Pocket 6K Mark II and put some of these features that they're putting into this camera into that camera. I used to see some of I remember I used to see some of these announcements and think, this is way out of my wheelhouse. This benefits me next to nothing. But that's not true, because as these companies develop this technology, like I said before, it benefits everyone. If you hear a siren, we live next to a fire station. You're welcome for that. But this benefits everyone. This benefits, the big production teams. I'm really curious on how many movies you're going to see coming out in the next couple of years that are, shooting on this camera because of that 12K sensor. But then what does that mean 3 or 4 years down the road when a 12K sensor coming from Blackmagic may be in the price range that somebody like myself can afford, or even some of the technologies that they're putting out in this camera can afford. The fact they're putting this much into this camera, yes, maybe out of reach for me, but it benefits me in the long run because of this technology development. You also get a few. Yeah. And you also, talking about that waterfall effect, like it benefits everyone in the long run, because hell, just from the simple fact that like 5 or 6 years down the road, we actually may be able to afford this thing. Even that in and of itself, if we're taking it at face value, is still a benefit. And so, I as I said before, my channel is geared towards budget filmmakers. And so I can see if I'm still making these videos in 6 years, we may be coming back and say, yo, the Ursa Mini 12K, the Ursa Mini Pro 12K is now $4,000, $3,000, $5,000, somewhere around there where we can maybe afford it a little bit more. In that at face value is where it's beneficial for everyone. And so really, really awesome. So let me go back. Let's go back to some of these things. So we have the interchangeable lenses, built-in NDs. that was another thing. I'll wait for the stream to catch up. But built-in, well, you guys are all on delay anyways. My mind is not in stream world. But built-in indies is also another thing. I don't know, and let me know in the chat. I don't know if the Ursa Mini has it right now. I think it does, but I'm not sure, and that's on me for not knowing that. But that's another selling point, built-in indies. I was super hype on the external recording. I'm used to that with the Pocket 4K, so being able to film externally or film and pass information over USB-C to another drive is also very, very amazing. One thing I liked is, and again, this is, I don't know if the Ursa Mini has it right now, but like the menu. The menu is they are electronic indies, I believe. I just saw that. They're not manual indies. Mark was asking if they're electronic or manual. But the menu system reminds me a lot of I mean, it's the same menu system as the Pocket cameras, which is great for someone like me if I do end up like renting this camera. I'm not going to end up renting this camera, but just in case, you can use that. Something that intrigued me just about this image. So right now, I pretty much shoot everything in 12:1 compression. There's an 18:1 compression, and I'm like, how big/small are those files going to be? And that piqued my curiosity, the fact that there's going to be an 18:1 compression, because I know like in the Pocket system, 12:1 is the most compressed you can get. So 18:1 is interesting. And the fact that you can shoot 12K, 8K, 4K, 6K, like all of this, really, really just like excites me. And so there's a lot of information, even just in the, in the little picture of the menu system here. So really, really cool. A couple of key points, a couple of things that just got me excited. You see the 12K, and that in and of itself is, exciting. But there's other things that this offers, the high frame rates, the interchangeable mounts and everything. They're manual indies. Did I completely read that wrong? Let me go back down. I'm sorry if I'm making anybody sick by scrolling. Okay, yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I see the knob there to adjust that. That's awesome. So yeah, manual NDs. In case you guys are curious, Adorama is already pre-ordering these for, again, $10,000. I'm going to expect everyone. I don't have an Adorama affiliate link for you, but I'm going to go get one and put it on this stream. I expect everyone to go click on that. Give me that money. Give me that $10,000 affiliate money. So, manual NDs, only see. Oh, did I not switch back to the screen? Jeez. I'm working out, so I just got this like makeshift stream deck, so I'm switching that out. Oh, Mark said BRB ordering. Yeah, please do that. Please do that. Okay, what button did I assign the screen share to? Nope, let's try that. Nope. Okay, well now I just think the thing is not responding to me. All right, well, Adorama has it. And I'm going to attempt to show it to you, but I don't want to look like an idiot. Okay, well, what is happening? There we go. All right. I just manually did that. Go and order. Pre-orders are available now. 12K. High frame rates. Interchangeable mounts. Manual indies. Manual, not electronic. Manual. We have confirmed that. I haven't seen anything about the ISO range, and I'll be honest, like I kind of jumped on here right after a couple of meetings, and so if there's anything I miss, guys, like this is a discussion. I want this to be a discussion. If you guys found some stuff, about it that I don't claim. This is not a, review channel. I'm not here to be like the best things you don't know about the Ursa Mini Pro 12K. If you guys have seen some stuff, like, let me know. Let's see. Do we have anything about the ISO range? I don't see anything on here. I saw something about the overall dynamic range. I don't see anything there. Has anybody seen anything about the ISO range? No. By the way, this is a complete side note. I just picked up this app, the Bluetooth app, and I know that's probably like, no duh, there's a Bluetooth app. Changed my life. Changed my life. You guys should pick that up. If you are a Pocket 4K or Studio 4K user, pick up the Blackmagic wireless controls. The only thing that's a downside for me is it doesn't actually let you monitor your picture. So that was a downside, but other than that, and let's be real, that's probably for YouTubers because I'm in front of the camera and don't want to move around and go to the back of the camera. So yeah, 14 stops of dynamic range. Awesome. Anything, does it have a dual ISO? I haven't seen anything about that. Easy to use Blackmagic OS. 12K. God, that 60 frames, like, kills me. Kills me. No monitoring because of latency, I guess, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Which app did you get? I got the, let me go flip over. I got the Bluetooth Plus. It's the one from like Blackmagic. Trust me, if there's one that has a monitor, please tell me. Because again, struggles of a YouTube world. I have a monitor that I hook up to my Pocket 4K, but actually being able to see it on my phone would be awesome. No, the reason I wanted to get it was because I wanted to make a makeshift follow focus system so that I can have somebody focus pull with my Nucleus Nano. I'm not doing anything that needs a focus puller, but just knowing that I could do that would be awesome. Not dual ISO, native ISO 800. Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I've got to go get the kiddo. Again, if you are free tonight, 8 o'clock. I was going to talk about this at 8 o'clock, but I got too excited. I was like, F it. I'm going to go stream. But if you're free at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm going to talk about something else. We're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about streaming gear that I have for the GH5 that is under $50. So if you're trying to get into streaming, whether it's for Zoom meetings or if you are a YouTuber and you want to get into live streaming, let's talk about how to do it on the cheaps. But thank you guys for joining. That's my time. I say it like officially, but I do need to go take care of my daughter. She is awake from her nap. So you guys have a great one. Thank you guys for joining. Be hype. Again, this may be a camera that we can't afford, or if you can, that's awesome. But at the end of the day, this is beneficial to everyone. So it's big news no matter who you are. The fact that Blackmagic has put out the 12K Ursa Mini Pro. So exciting news, exciting tech. So you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.